should do, and I really should do this ahead of time, is find a VRBO that is up there that is nice. So that if you know you're going to be around on one of those late meetings, just plan for staying in a place like that. That's what my partner Nicole did when she was representing Winslow. She had to be up there 2 days in a row, so she just found a little VRBO that was nice. She used to stay in a local hotel until she went back with bed bugs one time and was very unhappy about it. Yeah.
Amy just set the clock.
Jamie just aligned clocks.
Yeah, because 5 minutes short.
Yeah. It's 6:01 according to the computer.
Am I a trendsetter?
What you started?
I'm a trendsetter.
Why not? See? This has
Cecilia, I'm a trendsetter.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
You sure may. Seems like it's been forever since I've seen you guys. All right. Councilmember Kelly.
Present.
Councilmember Turner.
Here.
Councilmember Perkins.
Here.
Councilmember Mendoza.
Here.
Councilmember Best.
Here.
Vice Mayor Miller.
Here.
And Mayor Croft.
Here. Okay, let's go on to introductions, presentations, and proclamations. And we're going to have Gus come and talk to us. I heard him out here talking before. This is an announcement regarding retirement of Police Department K-9 Gus. So one of your officers is retiring, and he has done a lot for not only the town, but for safety and police service altogether. Where'd he go to? There
I
he is.
see him.
Your mic's not on, buddy.
Yeah, Mike.
This is Mayor and Council. This is K-9 Gus. He's been with us for a little over 6 years. He's retiring today, so we just wanted to bring him in so you could get one last look at him. He'll be retiring to Officer McNally's home and be a pet and spend the rest of his days enjoying life and not working so hard.
Not a very friendly pet.
That's not part of the job, is it?
He's actually behaving very well for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is now. Don't go in his backyard. He don't like it.
That's a good thing for me.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to say something about Gus?
You want to say anything? It's your dog.
Your dog.
He bought him for $1 a day, so he got a good deal on him.
He's officially mine.
Ah, that's great.
So, K-9 Gus started his career here before.
Wait.
Get the mic.
Command voice.
K-9 Gus actually started his career here well before me as his third handler. When I got here, it was a easy transition. I had done K-9 7 years somewhere else, so when they handed me the leash, we just hit the ground running. So there's a real testament to his prior handlers who did a wonderful job with. Gus was, he's a happy-go-lucky boy. He's got a good nose, lots of unique quirks. You could always tell. I'll go into that. You could always tell, when he was working and hitting the bad guys, he has this unique quirk of opening his mouth extremely wide and just he's got his tongue out and he drools everywhere. Yes.
What was his biggest drug bust?
His biggest drug bust was with Mike Pareda, who's now a sergeant, back in 2015 up on the interstate. It was 29 pounds of methamphetamines.
Wow.
So, yeah, I did, like the chief said, I purchased him for $1 from the town. I probably should have only had to pay 75 cents because he is missing a toe and part of an ear. So he should be cheaper than a regular dog. He was well worth the $1. So, we also have his replacement here today. Be happy to introduce him. But Gus kind of started transitioning to the home. He's already got a nice wood kennel in the house. He's like I said, he's a vicious dog, right?
He's a good judge of character.
No, but so I just like to thank everybody who supported me with the last few years with him. Everyone who preceded me, making his retirement home, and everything like that. So. With that being said, like I said, he's already ours. So this is my wife, Veronica.
Now we know who the dog really belongs to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's great.
I just wanted to mention, too, Gus was purchased by Ruger for us as a donation. And our new dog, you can bring in Spot. I call him Spot. His real name is Leishko, and I can't say that. So Leishko was purchased by a private citizen for us as a donation. He's a year old, and I'll let Dave tell you a little bit more about him.
So this is your new dog, Leishko. Leishko just turned 1 year old. He was a year old. He said purchased through the funds from a private donation. The couple are very generous. They never want us to mention their name, but they're extremely generous. So Leishko came to the United States about May 15th. He landed in California. He came from a kennel outside of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And he was a little younger than we were waiting, but just due to circumstances and everything, he came. When I picked him up, he was 10 months old. So over the next few weeks, we did our little bonding process and began our training. So with the help of all these, a lot of the officers, handlers from other agencies and stuff, we've already been certified in narcotics detection.
Oh, cool.
So the chief had made the decision. He's certified for methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin. Due to some of the, Arizona medical marijuana acts and all that, we left the marijuana out of them. So just to avoid any legal challenges in the future or anything like that. So they say he just turned a year old on July 30th, and we're continuing our training. We're going to actually train him to do some apprehensions and help us out with some of the real bad guys that try to run. We're going to do some training or tracking. If they try and hide, he's going to sniff them out for us and stuff. And you can tell. I mean, he's well into it. That's him. So, actually, Gus isn't a big fan of Leishko. When I started, when he started sitting at home and he started hitting the police vehicle coming to work, boy, it wasn't happening. So,
I'm pretty sure he was depressed too. He was just sad.
So hopefully, Leishko here, he's gonna, like I say, he's a young dog. He has his moments. He's like a toddler right now. So I spent this afternoon chasing around like this for a while. Come here, don't touch that. So once he matures and we continue our training, he's gonna be a super good dog. He's very smart. You can see it in his eyes. He picks things up real fast. Super friendly. The lady who raised him in Rotterdam had a autistic daughter, so all of her dogs are super social. So he's super friendly, but when it comes to his job, he's intense and he's focused. So you'll do a good job, right?
Cool.
So
Get the last word.
Thank you very much for the work you do. Gus, have a good time on your retirement.
Don't eat the concrete, guys.
Don't eat it. Thanks to all of you. Thanks very much. Okay, let's go to item B, report by Elizabeth Vickery on the results of the Summer Fun Kids Club held at the library. So Elizabeth, come on up. Scott, would you come up with her and talk about how the program went?
Hi,
Hi.
Good evening.
I am Beth Vickery, and I'm in Frontier Girls, and I'm going to in Frontier Girls, our motto is, if you see a need, take the lead. My project was a summer activity program for children. This was selected to fill a need in our community because Miss Darlene retired and there was not going to be a summer reading program in Chino Valley. The Summer Funds Kids Club filled that need for a summer program that was fun, educational, and encouragement, visiting the library and reading for fun and knowledge. In order to earn my Diamond Award, I have to earn many other awards, do community service, and complete a large project to benefit my community. I have to consult with my advisors team in order to design and implement the project so that it provides the greatest benefit and impact to the community. The Diamond Award Advisory Team: Suzanne Vickery, Frontier Girls Leader; Carol Vickery, Assistant Leader; Scott Bruner, Community Service Director; Michelle Ritzer, Prescott High School Science Instructor; Mike Winkington, Investigator, Orange County Sheriff Department. Each week we had a different topic. A guest expert would present an educational overview of the topic, and then we had an activity or craft related to the subject. The topic: science with Michelle Ritzer.
I don't think we need to read through all of those. I think we got, you want to read through all those? That's an awful lot. Okay, go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
Magic with Daniel Croft. Gardening and insects with Shali Kinder and her two assistants. Rock painting with Julie Young. Space exploration, Stacy DeVoe. Our American flag, Kim Abbott. Kim spoke because Rory Abbott was sick and was assisted by 3 gentlemen. Windmills with Lon Turner. Safety with Scott Reed, Yavapai County Sheriff Department. officers of the Chino Valley Police Department, including Canine Officer Jax, Central Arizona Fire Department, CaricatureCon, and Summer Olympics. Crafts and activities required supplies each week. I was blessed to have 10 financially sponsors, one for each week. A to Z Home Center, Arizona Safety Keeper, Aroma Pizza, Bob's Car, Desert Rehab Physical Therapy, Kim's Diner, Pets First Choice Pet Grooming, Premier Paws Pets Salon and Boutique, Mayor Darrell Croft, Sergeant Deanne Wigington, and Investigator Mike Wigington of the Orange County Sheriff Department. Other support I receive: City of Chino Valley use of the library copies, Cloyce Kelly use of American flags, Carrie Cordy graphic designs, Carol Vickery transportation service, Roy and Kim Abbott door prizes, Kathy Lopez door prizes, Marley Lightfield painting supplies, Jason Wheeler newspaper covers, Arturo's Mexican food, the Hazel Nook, Vigo Tires of Prescott and Prescott Valley, all donut door prizes. A program like this runs best with volunteers. I was fortunate to have a few people who were willing to help. Previously mentioned guest speakers, friends of the library, Chino Valley Library staff, Kathy Lopez, Stearns Rogers, Carol Vickery. Total hours of work for myself, 92. Total hours of volunteers helping, unknown, but estimated at least 30. By keeping a count of the number of children in attendance each week, we were able to determine visit by children to the Chino Valley Library on Wednesdays between May 29th and July 31. 222. At each program, every child was allowed to have several books to keep. These books came from my personal collection. Books given to children in attendance, more than 450. Top 7 things I learned from this project. Having more people to brainstorm ideas with is better than trying to come up with everything yourself. Having a guest expert presenting a program was easier than teaching a new subject each week. Running late makes it harder to get ready. Having a good plan in advance, making things run smoother. Some kids accept help and some are stubborn. Little kids are loud. Having a good support system from my family and community makes the whole project easier. Many thanks to all the people who helped make this project successful.
Okay.
Thank you, Beth, for the hard work and doing the things you do. It's really appreciated. 222 children learn something, at least that many anyway, and probably some of the adults do. Thank you.
And with that being said, I don't think I can add much more to that. I think she said it all. So she did an awesome job, great job, Mayor and Council, and really helped us out. So again, I think Elizabeth said everything that needed to be said. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's go on to item C, presentation by Jeff Rohak and Lorette Bashir regarding a proposal to establish a repertory theater in the town. And if you don't know, Lorette is the chamber person, director of the Chamber of Commerce here.
Just a chamber person.
Well,
No worries. Good evening.
You're not just a chamber person.
Just a chamber.
She's the chamber person.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Lorette Brashear, and I'm with the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. I'm here today with Jeff Frohock, who has a wonderful vision to present to you all. It's about the Chino Valley Repertory Theater. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Frohock.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Frohock. Some of you may know me better as Kathy Frohock's husband. She's the eye in the sky in an office somewhere keeping track of all the doings here in the chamber. One of my favorite things to do as an English and a theater teacher was to teach my students a quote. And there's one that I'd like to read to you from Mark Twain, one of my favorite American writers. He says, "A man's character may be learned from the adjectives which he habitually uses in conversation. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that. But the really great ones make you feel that you too can become great." So I come here humbled by the previous presenter. My first go around in education was at an off-reservation boarding school for Native Americans in Riverside, California. In my first year, I taught special ed. And you may think you know the amount of work that young lady put into her effort, but nobody can come close to understanding that except the people who supported her and her parents. I don't know her, and I'm extremely proud of her work. So, you already know I'm a retired educator. I also taught acting, theater, and film. I had some of the toughest students in the country. And if a problem in public schools is to get young people to be quiet, the opposite problem is true when you're dealing with Native American students. It's the hardest thing in the world to get them to speak out. So I have some experience in dealing with difficult situations that way. I established 2 theaters in Riverside, California that still exist today. I can do the same thing here. Last year I substitute taught in the district here and over in Humboldt. And I'm very impressed with the work that goes into the educational system here. Part of what I want to do is to be a resource for the brand new theater teacher over at the high school. I think we could establish a very productive relationship. I've been here with my wife for 2 years. We retired here. The reason for creating the Chino Valley Repertory is I want to create a space for theater that exists outside the other opportunities that exist within Prescott and Prescott Valley. Within those 2 cities alone, there are about a dozen theaters. We have none. We deserve one. I'd like to attract the Quad Cities theater supporters to a new and unique theater experience. People who like theater are always looking for a new experience. In the first year or 2, it would be easy to draw people from the Quad Cities area. I'd like to develop again a relationship with the Chino Valley School District. I would also like to say that because of working with Lorette, me being an arts person, Kathy can tell you I haven't balanced a checkbook in 43 years, but I believe in surrounding myself with qualified people. So I do understand that theater can be a boon to a community also. Traditionally, people who go to a theater event will go to dinner before or after, maybe have a cocktail or 2 before or after. We have restaurants in town that I think can always use extra business that flows naturally and organically from an event like a theater. Posters would need to be printed. The production that we have planned is for December 14th of this year. It is a half-hour production, easy to sit through. It's a Western melodrama about the Christmas season. I have the script already. We have the date established with Chino Valley High School tentatively once I prove that I have a $1 million policy for liability. That's a big number to look at as an individual. So, barring that, December 14th, there will be a production. It's called Keep the Home Fires Burning. It will be a Christmas melodrama in 1 act, more or less. There will be audience participation. It's a melodrama, so the first 2 or 3 rows will be vegetable throwers. The vegetables will be made out of foam, naturally. Auditions are tentatively set for September, and rehearsals late October. Details to follow. Now, the next most important thing to me is this. This is sort of my Don Quixote tilting at the windmill. Kathy and I love living in this area. We love Chino Valley. It's our home now. Despite the fact that we came from California, we've never had a bad experience and everybody has welcomed us warmly. We appreciate it. There's a need for hope, for growth for the town. And despite anybody's politics, whatever they are, everybody wants the town to be successful. I'm going to tell you a very quick story about a place called Ashford, Oregon. They put on an event every year since 1935, so this takes a while to develop. Since 1935, they've had a Shakespeare festival. I have some statistics that bear out that the arts can produce money. They have an 8-month season. 70% of the shows are Shakespeare. Apologize while I look down at numbers. I can't look and do numbers. In Ashland, there's approximately a little over 20,000 people. In Chino Valley, the best numbers I can find is between 12 and 15. I'm sure I'll find out the number after this. The median income in Ashland is $32,289. The median income in Chino Valley is $41,344. They have a mayor and city council type of government. here's where the things get interesting as far as I'm concerned. Their largest employer is Southern Oregon University, 750 employees. The Shakespeare Festival employs full-time 500 people. The hospital has 400, public schools 300, and the city 200. In 2013, 108,388 individuals purchased 407,787 tickets to 3.76 plays each. Of these, 92,234 were visitors spending $54,534,565 beyond the price of their tickets. Add that to the $32,233,543 in actual festival expenditures, funnel cake, if you will. The direct contribution to the local economy for 2013 was $86,768,108 for pretending. My friends, the numbers get bigger from there. There's nobody in Ashland, Oregon that's smarter than us. We could, by accident, do this to ourselves if we have a little intention and a little support. I'd just like to start with doing a play in December, and we'll talk about the rest later. Thank you.
Thank you. That sounds like a heck of a challenge, and we need to support Jeff as much as we can in the issue. I think it'll benefit the town in the long run. Comments? Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Will that be at the high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, be at the high school. So look forward to buying tickets for it. Sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, we're going to item 3, call the public. Call to the public is an opportunity for the public to address the council on any issue within jurisdiction of the council that is not on the agenda. Public comment is encouraged. Individuals are limited to speak for 3 minutes. The total time for call to the public may be up to 30 minutes per meeting. Council action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date, or responding to criticism. Do we have anybody that would like to come right up? Tell us your name.
My name is Sarah Bradley.
Okay.
I'm here because there's been a lot of concern online on the community pages for Chino Valley about whatever's going on a property that's adjacent to the Chamber of Commerce. There seems to be some kind of criminal element over there, and then I'm here to find out if town council knows anything about it, if they're addressing it, just to get more information, really.
That is in the courts right now, so we can't really speak to it right now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'd be happy to speak with you. Why don't you
Yeah.
take my card and you can call me later?
Yeah. There is a concern, the council is aware. Anyone else that would like to speak? Come on up, sir. Give us your name.
Hello, my name's Ryan Roberts. I own an acre. It's off a little easement off of Perkinsville. I had asked to get a septic permit. I guess the town doesn't issue those, but I was told that I couldn't install a septic system because they will eventually run sewer down the easement. I don't have a time frame. It's not on any of your agendas that I've seen yet. I was told that not only are they going to install sewer and water line, but they're going to assess that cost between each property owner, which it's hard to tell because there's no cost and no numbers, but I was also told that the council was the one that instructed him to start the project. So the project apparently has been started, however, it's never made an agenda, and I guess it came up in a study session. But the problem I'm having is we can't move forward with the project that I'm doing, 1 acre parcel. we can't move forward. We're at a standstill. We have no answers, no timeline, no time frame, no cost. There's no answers coming from anybody. I don't know which steps to take. I'm 950 feet away from the current sewer line, well out of the code's stipulations. Also with the water line, I don't know what to do. I mean, I can't put in a septic, I can't put in a well, it'll devalue my property if the assessment's 30 grand to put in a water and septic line. So, my plea is to the council, like, what are we supposed to do?
I'm gonna pass that on to the town manager, who will have somebody contact you and have a discussion with you. Try to
Okay.
resolve your problem. I can't speak to it tonight.
Did the council instruct them to start the project? That's what I was told.
I can't speak to it tonight. I'm gonna pass you to the town manager and she will
Oh.
speak to it.
Call to the public, they're not allowed to respond.
Can't respond and call it public.
Okay, well,
We can take your problem and pass it on to staff is what we're doing.
okay, thank you.
And you'll have a response next meeting, the 27th.
Okay.
Sir, you want to give me your contact information?
Yes, sir, come on up. What's your name?
My name's David Melody. I'm a Scottsdale resident looking to move up here. I have the same complaint as Ryan. I'm a neighbor to him.
What's your last name, sir?
Meldy, M-E-L-D-E. So I came up and bought 3 acres adjacent to Ryan. I did all my due diligence. I looked at the city code. I also talked to Mike Beauvais from Public Works to make sure I was reading the code correctly. My property is 460 feet. The code says 400 feet. So I went ahead and purchased the land for $25,000 an acre. And I borrowed the money to do it, so I'm rolling interest. I did my due diligence. I knew I was outside of the 400-foot rule, so I was safe, so to speak, of any public works projects being rammed down my throat. And so then I come to find out that I can't, not only will they not let me split my land, but they are going to assess me and make me do something, which is sewer and water lines, that's outside of the code. It's clearly written. There's no arguing with the code. So I did my due diligence, went ahead and purchased the land, talked to Mike Beauvais from Public Works. He said, you're interpreting the code correctly. And then I come to find out I have to wait for this forced project, which I don't know how much is going to, well, I do know how much it's going to cost roughly. It's going to cost about between $30,000 and $40,000 a lot. I can show the numbers later. I paid $25,000 a lot, so I'm going to pay more to improve my land, which is being forced on me. According to code, it shouldn't be. Okay. So I have the same complaint, and the number one complaint I would add to that is I'm ready to go. I have borrowed money. I'm just a small fish. Yeah. And I'm being forced to do something that's going to cost more than land, and above that, I don't even have a time frame. And we all know public works projects could take upwards of a year. So I'm frozen in time, paying interest, and being rammed down my throat, something that I did due diligence on. That's my complaint.
Again, talk to the
Thanks.
town manager. We'll get an answer for you and discuss it with her and staff. And we'll have an answer next meeting, the 27th, if not before.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Anyone else that would like to speak? Yes, sir, come on up. And your name is, sir?
My name is Perry Stone. Good evening. Thank you for hearing me. So the reason I'm here is to address a situation that may or may not be happening at the moment, that possibly can, and that's hemp farming, along with the medical marijuana farming that's going on in town. The two together are disastrous. The town of Snowflake has already created an ordinance to combat that by having some distance around. Because of cross-pollination, we're at risk of being put out of business. If that, the hemp plant is gonna pollinate the medical marijuana, and it's gonna render it useless. No one ever thought about this, obviously. When we came here, town was more worried about what bad was gonna happen. We've been very super lucky that nothing's happened. I'm trying to ask town to do a study group or something of that effect, along with the other 5 dispensaries that have cultivation sites here. Just the amount of money we bring into town is $3 to $5 million a year, whether it be salaries or money spent here. We'd like to keep spending it here. So, and we have nowhere to turn except to you and to this ordinance that they did in Snowflake and ask you to review it. We have a lot of information about the problem. So my question to you is, will you look into it?
I'm going to pass you on to the town
That's
manager.
better than being thrown out.
Again, and we'll discuss, and we'll have an answer for you at the 27th. August
That's what she
27th.
said in her office today, and we're good with it. Thank you for hearing me.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Okay. Anyone else? When we have these sessions, we're here to hear any problems or complaints. We really can't answer them at the same meeting, so it will all come out with an answer at the next meeting. And we'll hopefully, the meeting with the town manager and meeting with the town manager and staff will, and that was more comfortable sitting back there. We'll hopefully resolve these issues. All right. Anyone else that would like to speak? Sure. Come up here, because we can't record it if you're not up here.
So the other thing I left out was we're being forced to pay for the water and sewer lines, which are clearly outside of code. I don't fit that. I think this, if the city was going to make us do something that by code they shouldn't be able to, that they would recoup some of their money by not making us pay for something we shouldn't have to, but the impact fees, i.e. hookup fees. There's multiple lots that would be on the line. They could pay for the line, which we shouldn't have to, but they could recoup half of it just by the impact fees alone. That's all I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your response. Anyone else? Thank you very much. Let's go on to response to the public. Is an opportunity for the mayor to inform the public about how town officials address matters raised during call to the public on a previous meeting. We have nothing to say about that tonight. Okay, let's go on to current events, summaries, and reports. This item is for information only. The mayor, any council member, or town manager may present a brief summary or report of current events. If listed below, there may also be a presentation on information requested by the mayor and council, and questions may be answered. No action will be taken. I've got a couple items. Congressman Gosar will be here on Tuesday, August 27th at 10 o'clock right here in town in the council room. He's going to have a Second Amendment roundtable. So if you're interested in sitting down with Councilman Gosar about a Second Amendment roundtable, it will be right here on August 27th at 10 a.m. in the morning. Pardon?
An officer recognition too.
Yeah, and then that afternoon at 12, he's going to do an officer recognition, probably at, where are you going to do it, at the police station or here? Where? At the police department. Usually they do it by the flag over at the police department. So you're welcome to attend that too. Also, Chino Valley Territorial Days weekend events. It's coming up pretty quick. It starts off on the evening of the 30th with Sequins and Saddles from 5 to 9 at Horses with Heart. Barbecue, dinner, dance, live music, pie auction, and more. So it's really fun. I've been to it every time they've had it. So, and the tickets are $30 in advance and $35 at the door. It's a lot of fun. And the proceeds benefit Horses with Heart. So if you're familiar with Horses with Heart, they do a lot of good with a lot of folks in town. And then Territory Days All Day Celebration at Memory Park, Palomino Road, and North Road 1 West in Chino Valley. Lions Pancake Breakfast opens until 11 a.m. and I think it opens at 6. So 6 to 11, you come in and have a pancake breakfast. 7 o'clock, a 10 or 2 mile run walk. 8 o'clock, we'll have vendors in Memory Park. 9:15, the Territory Day Parade starts. At 10 a.m., water slides, lawn games, food truck, and more at Memory Park. And then at 3 o'clock, the annual FFA corn dinner. So it's full 2 days of fun and frolic. So come join us with those few things. Anybody have?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been an exciting week for Chino Valley for a couple of things. The Boys and Girls Club had their official ribbon cutting last week. I signed up 2 of my kiddos for that. It's awesome. They have a pool table, shuffleboard, media room, gaming systems, snacks, the whole works. For my family specifically, it works out really well because I got a kid in high school and 2 in the middle school, and they bus right from the middle school to the Boys and Girls Club. It was $50 for the year to set up Monday through Thursday, and I'm very excited and was happy to be a part of that. Secondly, the Compass Training Center at our Chino Valley shooting range had their grand opening also this past Saturday, and happy to report on that they have secured 95 new members for the range in just such a short time, and I was number 1. That's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Don't forget the Chino Valley Mudders this weekend, isn't it?
That's right.
The
Yeah.
17th.
It is.
Yes.
This
Yes, it is
Saturday,
this week.
Chino
This
Valley
Saturday.
Mud Run, yes. We
The
can't call
in
it
the
the
Mudder.
Mudder.
Don't they call it the Mudder or something?
No, that's actually a trademark name. We cannot use that word.
Excuse me.
And,
Chino Valley
Scott,
Mud
what time does it start?
We'll be there at 6.
6.
There's levels throughout the morning, and with different runs and different teams and things like that.
Events.
And individuals. But you know what? The best part is you can just go out there with your family and just walk the course and let your kids go.
Okay. Anything else?
Just for the, everybody will know, the pancake breakfast is at the senior center.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead and go there and enjoy ourselves.
Anything else?
Sorry.
Okay. Town manager, do you have something?
You guys mainly said everything I was going to say. I just wanted to remind
then.
you and the public, however, that we don't have a study session next week. We'll be at the League of Cities, so.
Okay. Okay. Let's go on to consent agenda. All these items listed below are considered to be routine and may be enacted by one motion. Any council member may request to remove an item from the consent agenda to be considered and discussed separately. Does anyone want to move an item?
I would like to, we're canceling item C till next meeting, is that correct?
No.
Removing,
Removing it and we'll discuss
and
it.
then item E.
So which one do you want to move?
C and E.
Okay, C and E. Then I need a motion to approve the rest of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion, we approve consent agenda items as written, 6A, B, D, and F.
Second it.
We have motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, let's go back and discuss item C. Consideration and possible action to approve First Amendment to Cooperative Purchasing Agreement between the town and PFVT Motors, DBA Peoria Ford, for the purpose of a 2020 Police Interceptor utility vehicle in the amount of $35,043.02. Chief Wynn. Oh, you're pushing it off, huh? Oh, okay. That'll teach you to do all the work.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Lieutenant.
What questions do you have?
I don't have any questions. You said to pull it because they
No,
were,
no, not that. Wrong C.
I have to apologize to you.
The wrong C.
The wrong C.
Okay.
Okay, we have no questions?
No question.
I need a motion to approve item C.
I'll make a motion to approve item C as written, sorry.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can I push my that was easy button?
Yes.
Yeah. That was it. And item C was the action item C.
Gotcha.
not
Okay,
consent.
sorry.
Okay. And how about item E?
Item E,
Item E is consideration of possible action to award a contract for solid removal service to Waste Management of Arizona Incorporated. Mr. Marbury?
Hi.
The question I have is there's no money there.
It's a annual bid for services.
Okay.
So we budgeted, should be about, we'll wind up spending, I think we estimate about $70,000 or $75,000 this year on biosolids.
I'm just saying the item has no money on it. If you read item E.
So it says current anticipated annual costs between $50,000 and $100,000.
Where do you see that at?
Under situation and analysis. So it depends on how much they transport, we determine the amount.
Page
105 out of
Page 103.
I saw it back there,
105.
but I
103,
thought
it's right
it
on
said 50 to 100, and then I was just curious.
Yeah, I
where we're
apologize.
at.
I don't have the packet in front of me. It didn't.
So it
download
depends
properly,
on
but
what they pick up and carry off, what it's gonna cost, is that?
Right.
That's right.
It is actually a tonnage rate,
Not
a,
There's a few different line items. The big one is the tonnage going to the landfill.
the
There's also
liners.
liners and items like that.
And the extra pickup, I think I saw in there too, but that's why I was curious
and
about.
it went up a little bit this year from what we've been paying in the past.
That was all. I was just wanting a ballpark figure in there or something that we weren't just saying.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
make
Run,
sure.
run,
If we're
frolic,
gonna,
have fun.
if we're gonna approve a minor item, we need to see it up on the consent agenda if we're gonna approve how much money it is in the future. Please. That
Well,
answer
we
your question?
budgeted 70,000.
Pardon?
We've budgeted 70,000 and the
Yeah.
estimate is anywhere
Well,
between 50 and 100, so.
Just please put it.
So what
with the
should we do
agenda
for
item.
the motion?
To award the contract as it's written. Andrew, you don't have any problem with the way it's written, do you?
I can hear what he said.
He has no problem with it.
No problem.
no, I'm fine with the way it's written.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'll need a motion to
I'll make-
approve.
um,
Item E.
Motion, we,
Consideration of possible action to award a contract for biosolids removal service to Waste Management Arizona.
I make a motion to approve item E is written.
Motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Let's go on to action items. The council may vote to recess the public meeting and hold an executive session on any item on this agenda pursuant to ARS 38-431-03A3 for the purpose of discussion or consultation for legal advice with the town attorney. Executive sessions are not open to the public, and no action may be taken in executive session. Let's go on to item A, public hearing and consideration and possible action to recommend approval of an application from Mario Estrada for the new Series 12 restaurant liquor license for El Presario Mexican and Italian restaurant located at 1150 South State Route 89, Chino Valley. Ms. Jamie Lewis.
Good evening. Okay, Mr. Oh, I can't read today. Mr. Estrada has applied for a Series 12, which is a restaurant liquor license, and the parameters for what you can do with that type of license are all laid out in your staff report. And the state just requires you all to hold a public hearing and then to see if anybody has any comments, and staff has not received any comments either for or against.
Okay.
And everything's been followed according to the statute as far as getting it all noticed and published and all that.
I would like a motion to hold a public hearing.
I'll make motion, we open a public hearing.
All in favor, say aye. Second, and all right, we're in a public hearing. Does anyone have any comments or issues with this particular liquor license? Okay.
I'll make a motion, we close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then let's go on with the recommended action.
Make a motion, we recommend approval of the new Series 12 liquor license for El Presario.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Let's go on to item B, consideration of possible action to execute a professional service agreement between the town and Montgomery and Associates in amount of $49,436 for a groundwater physical availability demonstration and project of recharge area of impact. Wow. In support of future applications for certified assured water supply. Well, Mr. Marbury, you look strange today. Please tell us your name.
Hi, Mark Holmes, your water advisor.
Yeah.
Mayor Croft, members of the council. So this is a proposal for a water physical availability determination. This would be for the town's entire water service area for not just now, but the future. The purpose of the study, it's to determine how much groundwater is physically available to serve water customers for 100 years, which is part of the active management area rules and laws. The second aspect would be to determine the area of hydrologic impact from our recharge facilities. So currently we have taken our reclaimed water, it's been treated and recharging it. Determine that area of extent which would provide benefit for the town to then possibly, lastly, allow the town to establish recovery wells and then recover reclaimed water and then wheel or deliver, serve reclaimed water, it's really groundwater, but reclassify that water as reclaimed to various customers. The direct benefits would allow the town to potentially lock up part of this water supply for Old Home Manor, initially for 10 years, and with 2 additional 5-year renewals through analysis of assured water supply permit issued by the state of Arizona. Part of the physical availability can be shared with other entities for certificates of assured water supply, saving them about a year or more of having to complete their own hydrologic study. It will also allow the town to recover reclaimed water, as I mentioned earlier, in its current and future water production wells and wheel those water supplies to those various entities that you want to partner with or already have partnered with. And lastly, the town would have the ability to utilize its reclaimed water, which is the only increasing renewal supply that you have in your water resources portfolio. So the proposal before you is to have Montgomery & Associates perform the necessary groundwater modeling that would be used to determine the physical availability determination and the area of hydrologic impact from the recharge facility. Montgomery & Associates has intimate knowledge of the town's AMA aquifer and Big Chino region and performed the previous hydrologic analysis of assured water supply for the town. They are also the premier and highly respected hydrologic firms in the state of Arizona. So if you approve tonight, the schedule being proposed would then kick off going through various tasks and then ending around the end of November, as you can see there in the schedule. The proposed amount for those tasks altogether, as mentioned earlier, is just slightly more than $49,000. So at this time, staff would recommend that the council approve the professional services contract with Montgomery & Associates. Upon completion of the work, we'd like to coordinate with the Water and Utilities Subcommittee to determine the appropriate ADWR applications and the amounts of water that may be applied for some of those permits, as the subcommittee has discussed with staff previously. And then upon completion of the work, complete all the necessary recovery well permit applications for the town. And with that, I'd address any questions, comments you may have.
I don't have any questions.
No, sir.
Questions this side? No. Okay, I'd like to have a motion then, please.
I'll make a motion, we execute a professional service agreement between the town and Montgomery and Associates in the amount of $49,436 for a groundwater physical availability demonstration and projection of recharge area of impact in support of future applications for certificates of assured water supply.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item C, which I'll read, I'm gonna ask that it move forward to August 27th meeting for further discussion, but I'll read it. Consideration and possible action to authorize Water Attorney Bill Stoudemire and Manager Gritman to purchase 20 acre-feet of assured water supply for $20,000 a foot. Evidently, there's some work that needs to be done in this particular item, so I will need a motion.
I make a motion, we table this until next meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, next is executive session. Council may vote to recess the regular meeting and hold an executive session which will not be open to the public for the following purposes. An executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431-03A4 for discussion or consultation with the attorney for the town in order to consider the town's position and instruct the attorneys for the town regarding the town's position regarding a potential intergovernment agreement with the city of Prescott relating to water service. I need a motion.
I make a motion, we adjourn into executive session.
I need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned into executive session. Thank you very much for coming this evening.
Yeah, thank you, everyone that's here.
We'll take a 5-minute break.
Kind of a full house compared to what we're used to.
It's been working that way for a while.
We're almost done.
Go ahead.
I tried to keep them all here, you know, but.
We're glad they left.
That's why we thank everybody for coming before we go in
We
there.
didn't say that, but we are.
Okay, the clocks haven't moved.
No, the clocks are dead.
Okay, what time is it? Oh, I pegged 8, so that's good.
How you doing? I'm doing all right. Good, good. Busy, busy?
Busy.
I'm just pushing it around. I'm not gonna sit down.
So you'll take the new dog home with
That's
you?
a thing.
I have them both.
That was great when you said that. The old one's really not liking the pup.
He's not, so they're, starting to kind of mix the pack, with our other dog, but.
Hey, did you look?
I did.
Okay.
Looks great, yeah.
Okay, good. I'll get over there.
It'll be so nice to actually have places to put them all.
I'll get over and get it stripped tomorrow or the next day.
Okay.
But you shouldn't put the dogs on there for 2 days probably.
Right.
Because their claws, they go to big to pick off, you know, and
Okay.
Now, you can lighten up on the old dog's diet now. It's not as, but because you have 2 of them, do you still keep that same, the same food?
I'm not gonna change his diet any.
Okay.
But he's gonna become less active. And he also got fixed.
He'll have lots of people walking by to eat.
Jamie, are we ready to go? Again?
Twice.
Okay. Well,
Oh, my dog.
we are reconvening a regular meeting. I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.